It's about 5 years in Brazil.
Hey Jeff, how's it going?
Hey Juan, hey, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
I love your background.
Hi guys, how are you?
It fits your title as the.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get people excited about traveling again. So this background is doing the job.
Me too. I love traveling.
Yeah, we all do, and it's something that we've been missing a lot, haven't we?
It is indeed.
So, right. So can everyone hear me?
James, yeah, we can hear you. Are we happy to give the audience another a minute and a half or so to flock in? All right.
Yep, everyone get in as quick as possible. We'll get started.
So Juan, how's everything on your end? Like, is it busy at the moment? We better now?
Yeah, pretty busy. Things are picking up quite quickly. Obviously, travel restrictions are being eased in different locations around the world. So we're seeing a lot of pockets of demand picking up in different regions. Whether it's Latin or Asia or even some particular states in the US. We saw that with the UK a couple of weeks ago when they announced the lifting of international travel restrictions coming for the summer period. And then suddenly, we started to see a tsunami of bookings coming in for future travel bookings. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that we are at the end of this pandemic in terms of the impact on the travel industry as a whole. And therefore, we will see a significant acceleration of travel demand coming over the next few months, mainly due to the amount of pent-up demand. As you said, we all itching to travel again. So as soon as we allowed, I think it's going to be an absolute tsunami of bookings that are going to come to platforms like Travala.com, particularly with what's happening in the crypto space at the moment as well.
Yeah, I mean, mad respects to you and the team. Like you guys survive first the crypto winter, and you guys are doing pretty well and surviving and going pretty well in the travel winter as well. So mad respects, man.
Yeah, it's been a tough one, but in business, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger as well, doesn't it? We managed to focus on the product and the core developments and growing the team and implementing new use cases for AVA, and particularly the platform, the product development. And we went through obviously one of the worst bear markets that we've seen in the space from 2018, and also by far the worst pandemic that we see in our generation. But we managed to survive, and not only survive but also thrive, because we did see, apart from those first couple of months, March, April last year, when basically everything was shut down at a global scale, from June, July onwards, we started to see a nice pickup and acceleration in growth. I mean, year on year, we still grew almost 5x in terms of overall booking revenue. And obviously our community, our user base has grown exponentially as well. So all in all, we're very happy with the progress. And coming out of this pandemic, we feel like we are a lot stronger with what we learn over this crypto winter and travel winter.
Well said. Yeah, thanks for sharing all those really great insights. Hey James, let's hit go.
Sorry, I was muted there for a second. Cool, let's get going. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's AMA with Travala.com. We're really happy to see everyone here. Joining us for today's AMA, we have CEO of Binance Australia, Jeff Yu, and CEO of Travala, Juan Otero, discussing the impact of crypto on Australia's travel industry. So welcome, guys. And before we start, we're just going to run through some of the housekeeping rules. So we have a few angels in the chat with us tonight. Finance angels are volunteers to help us out. So keep an eye out for Damien and Annie in the chat. If you have any questions or technical difficulties, they'll be your go-tos. And thank you to everyone who has already submitted a question for today's AMA. We'll be going through a few of them tonight. So if you have any questions or comments throughout the evening, please feel free to drop them in the live chat. We'll be monitoring the live chats on YouTube and Zoom. If the question did not get answered, we'll make time for Jeff and Juan to go over a couple more of them at the end. All right, so let's get started. I'm sure many of us already know Juan. For those of you who don't, Juan is the CEO of Travala.com. Juan, can you give us a short introduction of yourself and Travala.com?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me here today, and congrats on the progress with Binance Australia. You guys have done an amazing work within the Australian ecosystem. I think that just like with Travala, you guys are playing a critical role in bringing crypto mainstream, particularly in the Australian ecosystem. So congratulations on all the progress. So myself, I've got a background in tech and travel. I've been pretty fortunate to work to some of the largest tech companies in the world, including Booking.com and Oracle back in the day. I've been in startups and innovation for quite a while. Started Travala.com back in 2017. And the idea was to disrupt the traditional OTAs, the online travel agencies, the Booking.coms and Expedias of the world, by offering more choice, better rewards, and obviously more transparency, and some of the advantages that blockchain technology offers as a whole. We soon became not just the first mover within blockchain-based travel, but also the market leaders. Today, Travala.com is the world's leader in terms of crypto-friendly travel booking. We offer over 40 different cryptocurrencies as payment methods, together with our native token, AVA, and boost over 3 million travel products on the platform across over 200 countries globally, between hotels, flights, tours and activities, and a few other verticals that we're working on at the moment. So yeah, our mission overall is to offer a better user experience when it comes to booking travel, particularly when you pay with cryptocurrency, and a product that is global and that can really have an impact in terms of cryptocurrency adoption or bringing cryptocurrency mainstream.
No, great. Yeah, my favorite thing is disrupting different industries. So it's good to hear that you're doing that in the travel industry. So we'll move on to sort of a bit of an intro from Jeff. So do you want to tell us about yourself, for those that don't know you, and Binance Australia?
Yeah, so I'll do a short introduction for myself. So I'm Jeff. So I lead Binance Australia as CEO. So we've been in the market for close to a year now. So we have been Australia's largest digital currency exchange. So we are a AUSTRAC registered crypto exchange here in Australia. We base here. We're committed to the market, and with the trust from our users and our support, we're doing pretty well with everyone's support. And personally, so I came into the crypto scene in 2013. So I've always come to the mindset of it's the people's money. It's a money that's more free, and I think that it's one of the most impactful and important social infrastructure that we can develop, collectively for humanity, because the impact of a world with crypto versus a world without crypto, without decentralization, without the freedom of money, is it's very different. So that's why we're here to provide the access to cryptocurrencies to from people that are new, from people that are from newbies to advanced traders, so they all can start their journeys and also get into serious trading or regular sort of stacking on Binance Australia. That's perfect. And I think what Juan is doing is really interesting, because he's allowing people to actually use the crypto in real life, When I spend crypto in real life, that's always a very weird thing. Like, it makes me feel crypto is more real than it is, but crypto is real. So I'm really excited. Like, I've used Travala before. Just because I've been traveling much less these days because of travel restrictions, and also, but I really hope to get back into the travel scene, and what Travala is having right now is really really awesome.
No, great. Agree more with that one. So just a friendly reminder that AVA, so Travala token, is now available to buy directly with AUD on Binance Australia through our instant buy feature. All Binance users can now deposit AUD directly into their Binance account via PayID, which is zero fee to buy AVA tokens. So just want to put that one out there. So on that, going off that, are you able to tell us a bit more about the AVA token or coin?
Yeah, definitely. So AVA is the backbone of the Travala.com platform. The token powers a number of different use cases, from payments, which is one of our preferred payment options, together with obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the other major cryptocurrencies out there, to loyalty and rewards, which is one of our key differentiators in terms of the competitive advantage or unique selling points of the Travala.com platform. We have a loyalty and membership program that allows our users to enjoy exclusive discounts and gift packs up to 10% of the booking value, as well as other rewards that they can enjoy by paying with AVA or storing AVA on the Travala.com platform. The AVA is part of the whole ecosystem, and as we continue to develop more use cases and more decentralized business models in order to try to solve this what we call broken relationship between travelers and travel suppliers, the AVA token will become more and more significant in terms of these decentralized use cases. This has been one of our focuses, obviously, as well as developing the platform, making sure that the AVA token continues to have more use cases and more utility, not just as a payment token and also as a loyalty and rewards, but with a number of other use cases within the Travala.com platform and outside the Travala.com ecosystem. Recently we integrated Binance Pay as a payment option within Travala.com. We are intending to get AVA added to Binance Pay. There is a number of other platforms and wallets and cards and so on that do support AVA, and we will continue to promote its use case and its utility.
So there's a lot of evolution there, essentially, for the coin. The roadmap is a long one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just like with the platform itself, there is a lot in the roadmap for AVA. We do have an amazing ecosystem and a very supportive community. Again, we are one of those long-standing projects. We launched in 2017, as you guys know very well. During 2018, 2019, there was a big cleanup of the ecosystem, which I think it was good long-term. But we are one of those projects that are here to stay long-term. Therefore, AVA will continue to be the backbone of the Travala.com platform, and potentially the travel token that will have many different use cases within the travel ecosystem, inside and outside the crypto travel industry.
No, awesome, great. So there was something that we noticed with the Travala. You have something called a SMART program. How can Australians benefit from the SMART program?
Yeah, so the SMART program is our loyalty and rewards program. It's open to anyone, anywhere. Again, as Jeff mentioned before, the freedom of money, we want that freedom applied to travel, and anyone can basically join this program. It's a tier program with 5 different levels that allows people to access exclusive discounts and gift packs, as well as other perks when joining the SMART program on Travala.com. There's a limited amount, obviously, of SMART members that could ever be created within the Travala.com platform due to the available supply of the token. So it is a program that has increased a lot in terms of demand, but it's also a program that gives the whole Travala.com and AVA ecosystem a lot of value. So users that log the AVA to enjoy these benefits can book from hotels to soon flights as well, which we're releasing directly on the Travala.com platform, activities and tours and other travel verticals directly with the membership, enjoying specific gift packs and discounts. As I mentioned before, up to 10% of what we already offer, which are very competitive prices in terms of the travel products that we offer on the platform.
No, great. It seems like you've really thought of everything and keeping it open with AVA, which is good to see. I like a project like that has a long roadmap and a lot of evolution to it. It grows with the company, it's growing with you, it's growing with the crypto ecosystem. So yeah, great. That's great to know all about the smart program there. So Jeff, can I ask you, what led to Binance Australia enabling Australians to buy AVA with AUD on the instant buy feature that we offer?
I mean, it's a one step after like the PID that we introduced about 9 months ago. So right now you have one of the easiest ways for Australians to bring their AUD from their bank accounts into their Binance Australia accounts and trade crypto with it. So we are obviously always trying to sort of add more coins that you can buy directly with AUD. AVA is just one of those coins that really have a big supporting base, and we just really want to sort of support the good projects out there. Especially like I know Juan for a while, so I've seen him through the crypto winter. I've seen him through the travel winter, and I really think that calibers like that shows the strength of the leaders, and that reflects really well on the project. So obviously, full disclosure, I'm not promoting Travala. I'm not promoting AVA. So just that Juan is a guest for the show sort of tonight. So I just want listeners to know that don't take my word as financial advice. That's really important. So as to like this is something that we are doing for more coins. Nothing different. No preferential treatment at all. So but the point is that in Australia, like buying crypto, especially with AUD, it's something that I think a lot of people struggle with in the past. Like I remember like years ago, like trying to deposit money into exchanges was a really tough thing, right? With the introduction of PID and MPP, that's like instant 24/7. There is no risk of chargebacks, so it's actually very safe for users and also the exchange to accept AUD and also withdraw AUD via PID. So it's a very good system. I think that more people should use it.
Awesome. So yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Again, so speaking of enabling Aussies, what are Binance Australia's plans on increasing user adoption for cryptocurrency in 2021, Jeff?
I think it's like adoption. So Australia has one of the best regulatory frameworks for crypto. Like we are regulated exchange, so we comply with all the laws and standards in Australia, which is pretty good. Like even that in most countries, operating a crypto business has a it's very unclear in terms of regulatory clarity in those situations. In Australia, we're pretty lucky. So we have some of the best regulators in the world that are very up and coming into the knowledge of development in the crypto space. And we also have one of the best banking support as well. So the banks that we work with, they're awesome, are very supportive. And these are the stuff that a lot of places, other countries would dream of, to have this kind of support. And I think that, and Australia has so many good providers as well. So other than Binance Australia, I'm sure that you guys have accounts on other exchanges, and I think that the more players are in this space, that it's just like a foundation for more people to adopt it in a bigger way, right? Because like we have clear regulatory sort of clarity on that. We have great banking support, and also we have great players like Binance Australia providing easy in and out trading, those kind of things. I think the next step would just be to push education. That's why we're doing the AMAs. That's why we're doing the meetups. meetups. That's why we we hang out with our users all the time. We meet, we have this offline discussions. We do one-on-ones with our users to check out what can be done better. What's the suggestion, what they like, what they don't like. I think it's all about the engagement. And we have to always remind ourselves that our customers are the most important, no matter which industry you are in. The business is defined by the customer, so that's something that we really hold true to.
I can vouch for that our main focus, and I think Travala.com could back this up and agree and align themselves, is that we all agree that customers are our main focus here. So running along the theme of user adoption. Juan, what's Travala's 2021 roadmap? And could you tell us about any recent partnerships or achievements you guys have hit?
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to echo that as well, guys. I think adoption is the key here. As an industry, we need to, push for adoption and as well, obviously education, and, build the platform for users to be able to, access, the innovation that's been built on blockchain and the whole cryptocurrency space in a more seamless way. I think that, Australia has one of the best frameworks in the world in terms of supporting crypto and innovation. And it is definitely something that we're very keen to continue to, promote the use and the adoption of Travala.com and, all the different cryptocurrency payment options that we offer there to help with the adoption of cryptocurrencies in Australia as well. In terms of the roadmap, we have a very exciting roadmap ahead. Obviously, we do have a number of partnerships coming in the next couple of weeks, which are quite significant. And these are product developments that we've been working on for months now, with the integration of flights directly on the Travala.com platform. Also, a significant improvement on an accommodation travel booking vertical. We're also releasing the activities and tours, which gives us access to over 400,000 activities across the world. The concept of being able to book, a helicopter tour over the Niagara Falls, or being able to go to, do some of these, very, very unique experiences across the world and be able to pay with crypto is pretty amazing. And the fact that we're facilitating that at a global scale is, a great achievement. Going forward to the rest of 2021, we will continue to focus on improving the product, a number of partnerships that we're working on to continue to work towards our goal, to reach the 1 billion travelers and 10 million travel products, which is something that we always intended to achieve. Making Travala.com potentially the largest OTA in the world as well, to continue to facilitate that adoption of cryptocurrencies. So very challenging, very ambitious roadmap that we have coming ahead in 2021. But particularly over the next couple of weeks, we have a couple of major partnerships that will be announced that also will mean that there is significant product improvements within the Travala.com platform.
Great. And we can't say anything about who those partnerships are at this point in time?
Not at this point of time, but you'll soon find out very soon. Yeah.
We'll soon find out. Cool. All right, let's get hyped up for that one. So it's not common to see a travel company dabbling in crypto. So can you tell us more about what it's like to be, a CEO of such a platform that's thinking so progressively?
Yeah, again, it's been a tough road, I think, for everyone in travel. In crypto, we always know there's cycles. So we go through bear markets, we go through bull markets. It's happened, again and again, and you kind of learn to deal with it. Again, when you start a new project just before a bad, bear market, let's say, there is difficulties in terms of bootstrapping and getting traction. That is luckily something that we didn't see with Travala.com. We have a very strong and loyal community that help us from the get-go. We did a lot of growth hacking. We obviously leverage a lot of the advantages basically that the crypto industry offers to continue pushing through the challenging times. It was obviously COVID-19, the biggest challenge that we had to face. We had to implement a number of contingency plans as soon as that hit early last year. But again, we managed to come out of this a lot stronger, to be able to put our heads down and continue to focus on the product and building. At the end of the day, just like you guys at Binance, we just build. That's what we do, Yeah. I mean, 80% of our team are developers. So that gives you a good explanation of how much is done on the product side and in terms of, tech innovation and so on. So yeah, it's been a tough one, but again, it is something that is very rewarding, because what we're doing today is something that I personally believe will have a significant impact in driving change. And when I say change, I mean significant change, to industries as a whole. What we're doing in travel by, decentralizing, the relationship between travelers and travel suppliers, or kind of taking some level of control away from that middleman and opening the travel ecosystem by adding more value to the different participants directly, is something that hopefully will set the basis for what's to come in the future, which is, a fully decentralized travel ecosystem where there is no middlemen, where everybody benefits, where everybody participates in the growth of the platforms, and there's more transparency, more freedom, and so on. A clear example is what we saw during COVID. We had so many small travel suppliers that had to shut their doors, basically because the big centralized online travel agencies had control over not just the booking economics or the revenue, but also what type of conditions they will have on the cancellation terms or the refunds rates. So yeah, what we saw here from the travel supplier side was again a perfect example of the control and the centralization, the power that these big online travel agencies have. From the traveler side, we saw something very similar, but in this case was towards all those loyalty, travel rewards programs and so on that everybody had, that been working on gaining for years and years, whether it was air miles or hotel booking programs that suddenly had no value whatsoever. Whereas at Travala.com, that you're getting rewards through the AVA cryptocurrency, which is always accessible, free to trade, and liquid. So, we're never going to obviously control what you do with your rewards or with your assets. And overall, I think that, that level of decentralization and, playing a role to bring crypto mainstream at a global scale is something that is rewarding enough for me to put the time here, as well as the rest of the team. Obviously, this is not just about the success of the Travala.com platform. Obviously, we own this to our community, to our supporters, and together we do want to create significant change and impact in the industry as a whole.
So yeah, I liked the emphasis on change. That's what I was going to sort of pull out of that. Is that it's good to see a company that's willing to change and willing to adapt. And I can definitely see that you're very passionate about this. I'm guessing over the last year, especially with COVID-19, a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of hours put in. And I think if you're passionate, which you can see, the project will go quite far. So let's just shift things a little bit over to Jeff right now. So Jeff, I just wanted to we're going to bring up some of the more corporatized sort of stuff with Binance. So we're just starting to see a lot of interest in corporate features and SMSFs. So what opportunities do you see for the crypto landscape in Australia?
Yeah, so corporate is definitely one of the big topics in 2021 in crypto, with the start of Michael Saylor putting MicroStrategy's balance sheet on Bitcoin. Then you got Tesla, you buying Bitcoin, and then all this just come out, like JP Morgan is now having that crypto product, and you got the world's largest custodian, BNY Mellon is also part of the whole revolution. So I mean, like that's things are not that different in Australia. So like, obviously, like it sounds like a lot of things are happening in the US with the talks about an ETF, and also in Canada there's like a couple right now, and they didn't exist like over 2 months ago. So the world has definitely shifted from a more speculative attitude towards crypto towards a more sort of looking at it from a traditional financial lens, which I think it makes sense because crypto is ultimately a better money than that's a goal, because right now with the rapid monetary expansion that we're seeing in the world, your money is being devalued much more quicker than what your parents experienced. So like the whole sort of flight to capital mindset has shifted from, let's say, in the past with a 5-6% sort of expansion of money a year, you're looking at losing half your purchasing value in over like 30 years or 35 years, something like that. But right now in the US, like the monetary expansion is at the rate of 15 and above, and it's still not stopping. Similar thing in Australia as well. So your halfway point of your asset losing 50% of its purchasing power went from 30 years to 5 years. So I mean, like, put it simply, if you have $100 million as a corporate CEO in your treasury, you're going to lose 10 million each year. And by the fifth year, your $100 million will be worth $50 million. That used to take 30 years to plan out. And right now we're looking at a much shorter time frame. So like, I can understand why institutions are looking at crypto and Bitcoin as a part of their strategic portfolio allocation, and also you see like small businesses are picking up this as well. So and there will be a race to who can be the new sort of the next MicroStrategy, and I can't speculate who that is. I think like even if you ask me who will be the MicroStrategy or Michael Saylor in Australia, like honestly I can tell you, but what I can tell you is that this space is definitely booming. It's very different than what we see in 2017. Industry is much more mature. Regulation is getting more and more clear. Banking support, we have PayID. We can process millions of dollars of transactions in like that, right? So it is fit for corporates to get on board, and we see a huge growth like in our corporate user base, and it's amazing to see that Australia is leading in one of the leaders in this space. But obviously we can do better, and that's where one of the focuses this year will be just making sure that Australia stays in the race of enterprise institutional adoption of crypto with the rest of the world.
Yeah, I can't say strongly enough how satisfying it is to see the things that we've fought for over the years around acceptance to finally start to be accepted. Juan, were you going to step in there at all?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, it doesn't take much to just look at the supply dynamics, of Bitcoin versus gold, Bitcoin versus fiat. What we see now with, the unlimited printing of fiat, left, right, and center, and obviously the supply dynamics of Bitcoin as an investment vehicle. Obviously, this is not investment advice or anything, but it doesn't take much for any CEO or CFO of a company to actually understand that there is an opportunity there with Bitcoin. But overall, I think that what we've seen in terms of adoption and the actual usage of cryptocurrency for payments, for what is being built on DeFi, on the different innovations now with NFTs as well, that having a real impact in the real world, that actually allowing those mainstream users to come into crypto. And this is one of the things that we try to do at Travala.com, which is to build what we call a frictionless on-ramp into crypto. And this is, I think an obligation or a duty that we all have within the industry, is to build the technology in a way that, we allow those mainstream users to come into the cryptocurrency space and to get educated, and obviously to do it in a safe and educated way.
Yeah, so just to sort of bounce off of that utilization. So for Juan, obviously, have you seen a shift in the travel industry starting to utilize blockchain technology, like ticketing systems, trustless passport controls, things like this?
Yeah, there's been a few
broader acceptance of the blockchain. Sorry.
Yeah,
continue.
I think that blockchain as a whole is being looked into a lot more within the travel industry. I haven't seen any applications that have been significant in terms of driving change. obviously we know that some of the large OTAs and travel players are looking into different blockchain applications, payments with cryptocurrencies and so on. But again, it goes down to these large corporations normally, rather than building things themselves at the stage where they are, which in a way sometimes the tech elephants, let's say, because they're driven by other type of priorities, versus a more lean and innovative startup like Travala.com that has built the technology from the ground up. We saw what happened with Expedia back in 2018 when they tried to accept bookings with Bitcoin. I think within a couple of months, basically they had to shut it down because they couldn't manage the actual payment processing and so on. For us, we were born as a crypto payment travel booking platform, so we've been building that technology from the ground up since day one. So I'll be more confident to say that startups like Travala.com or some of the new protocols that have been built, or payment gateways like Binance Pay, will be the ones that will be adopted by the larger corporations, rather than then building their own technology. So hopefully it is something that with Travala.com and the AVA ecosystem will be able to play a role in providing this type of decentralized solutions, or open source technology to some of these travel agencies in the near future.
Oh, great. So sort of bouncing off of the opportunities and stuff like along these lines, like what's the future look like? What's your ideal idea of the future for the travel industry utilizing crypto and the blockchain? It's a bit of an open-ended question.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I mean, my vision is that travel will be decentralized, community owned, and community governed, in the way that it will be the actual travel suppliers and the travelers that will be benefiting and participating in building these large travel platforms. I think that just like with the level of innovation that we've seen in the space lately, what we're trying to build in Travala.com is those tools to make this possible in the near future. I think that we are at a point in time where there is a perfect formula. Let's say there is an increased level of interest and adoption of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. We obviously seen what's happened over the last 12 to 18 months, basically since early 2020, despite the COVID-19 pandemic. The level of interest around cryptocurrency and blockchain as a whole has increased at a global scale. That, together with the fact that we are entering what we believe is going to be the highest level of travel demand that our generations have seen. You have to think that it's been over a year now of people putting travel plans aside, and that is going to come to a point where we're expecting, as I said, an absolute tsunami of demand. So the fact that we have a platform that has a great working product, a great community, great growth traction already, together with the fact that there is a lot more adoption in the industry and the amount of demand that we're expecting to see over the next few months and years, we're pretty confident that we'll be in a position to have a significant role in bringing a lot of these mainstream users into crypto through Travala.com, while also servicing the crypto and blockchain community. But going forward, I think that travel is probably one of the best mediums for crypto adoption at a global scale. I mean, we all travel, and we travel everywhere in every corner of the world. So facilitating that platform for users to spend their crypto and to help in terms of adoption, and also to create a platform for other projects within the ecosystem to reach those audiences. I mean, we do partner with over 35 different cryptocurrencies in the industry. From Ethereum to Tesos, Chainlink, VeChain, and obviously we allowed them as payment methods by integrating them directly in the Travala.com platform and allowing those communities to go and spend those cryptocurrencies as well on the Travala.com platform.
No, it sounds like you guys are doing for lack of better words, hell of a lot for the crypto scene on a whole, especially with all these different little communities and stuff that you have on board, and trying to build this up to be something that facilitates the whole crypto scene as well as the traditional side of travel. So let's again switch it up for a bit. Jeff, if you're there, we just wanted to ask, how does Binance Australia work with policymakers in Australia?
Yeah, you mean like a regulator. So we do, it took us quite a while to set Binance Australia up. That's kind of why, we were one of the late bloomers in the Australian crypto exchange scene. But, we're doing pretty well since, I guess, so thanks to all the support. So in Australia, the main governing body for exchanges is called AUSTRAC, which is the Australian Transaction Reporting Analysis Center, which looks after banks and financial institutions and sorts. When it comes to cryptocurrency exchanges, definitely they're the watchdog that looks after them. So we do have extensive sort of relationship and communication, and even open communication with not just one A-letter agency, but many that we work with day in day out as well. So I believe that in crypto, the way that we can progress further and quicker is to sort of have a balancing act with regulators and also industry experts and providers as well, because we see the concerns on the other side. We can take in our expertise and our sort of experience of what works and what not. So late last month, I was in a call with the other exchanges as well, in a roundtable with the Australian Treasury, discussing about some topics and how can we make the industry better. I can't go into details, but those are the kind of the conversations that we're having. So we work very closely with regulators. We work very closely with our banking partners and also with our peers as well, just because the space is very small. We all know each other. So it's all about sharing knowledge and information. And ultimately, it's a very young industry. There's room for growth for everyone. And we really do enjoy just sort of like having all these conversations to sort of build out a better system that we want to see for everyday Australians to get into crypto. Because like we have one of the most perfect sort of breeding ground for crypto adoption, but just because of how most people are very comfortable with the Australian dollars, or they're very comfortable with the traditional way of investing like stocks and bonds, it's very different from places where there is economic and political turmoil that they have to sort of adopt crypto out of necessity. I think in Australia, most people still see it as an investment. And I really do think that with more education and sort of nurturing of projects and also supportive of different projects in the space to actually show the utility of cryptocurrency like Travala, I think that will bring up more people's awareness that what we are building here, it's not just an investment vehicle, right? It's part of it. You can see it as an investment vehicle. You can see it as a savings technology. You can see it as a way to spend money alternatively. But ultimately, crypto is about building a world that will be more free from centralized control and something that we can't stop and no one can corrupt. So that will bring up a very important, I would say, is one of the most important social infrastructure that humanity has seen for maybe since agriculture. I'm really bullish about that. I really think that Australia can be one of the places that will kickstart a lot of this stuff and really bring up to the next level. One thing, for example, is other countries are looking at how Australia does things as well. So and just because of we are often the leader and sort of the test bed for a lot of policies, whether being traditional and also in crypto. But at the same time, I think users can do a little bit of catch up, and I do think that we do see a huge surge of growth in Australian users to Binance Australia. But I think that that's just room for growth and so much more. So I'm really excited to see what's ahead.
No, it's great to know that we're collaborating as a whole, the Australian exchange ecosystem, working together with regulators to build this acceptance in our country. So, Juan, we'll go back to, unless you had something to say there, Juan.
No, not really. I mean,
No, all good. Yep.
yeah.
So for Juan, to what extent do you see crypto becoming the leading payment method for travel?
I think it's inevitable, isn't it? For me, it's not a question of if, it's more of a question of when. I mean, what Jeff was just saying, it is about freedom. It is about transparency. It is about, making sure that there's, not that corrupt middleman on the way that can, take or extract value from the different, participants of a transaction. I mean, the fundamentals of blockchain and cryptocurrency, they're quite obvious in terms of, the level of freedom and transparency that they offer. I think that travel, just like any other industry, will benefit significantly from cryptocurrency payments. And when that happens, I think we already seen that taking a lot of traction, obviously, with platforms like Travala.com. We are heading into another record month of growth. In March, we broke over $1 million US worth of revenue per month. Just a couple of months ago, we did a record week last week of over $500,000 US in a week. And again, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. So, just like with the Travala.com platform, I think that there's a lot of projects there that are starting to see a lot more traction in terms of cryptocurrency payments. We process over 70% of our total bookings in cryptocurrency payments, and this is spread across over 35 different cryptocurrency payment options. Obviously, with the Travala.com AVA token and the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum, taking a big percentage of that, but still a lot of other cryptocurrencies used as payment. I think that just with any industry, cryptocurrency payments will become the norm, and that you have to think about the next generations coming, our kids and our kids' kids, and obviously I can't imagine anyone carrying a fiat note anymore, within the next 10 to 15 years. Digital cash, and in this case cryptocurrencies, I think are here to stay, and we are going to see a significant change in terms of adoption and utility of cryptocurrency payments within the next 3 to 5 years.
Brilliant. I just wanted to note that the philosophical sort of side of the technology that you mentioned at the start of what you were saying, Ben, is brilliant. It's like exactly like what I want to hear. It seems great. So, Jeff, with the recent milestone of 172 million in trading volume, can you reveal any updates or upcoming events regarding Binance Australia? You could go ahead with that.
Yeah, so that was the record day that we had. That was just about like a few weeks previous to the previous record day. So over 175 million Australian dollars of trading volume in a single day. So that is by far the largest that we have seen in any of the Australian exchanges out there. So we're pretty fortunate to have your support from all the users to become the #1 exchange in Australia by AEV trading volume. And we're definitely going to do more to support new users coming aboard, giving them more education. But 3 months ago, we didn't have the Lite app. Right now we have it. So it's one of the most beginner-friendly ways to get on board into crypto and buy your first Bitcoin or Ethereum or AVA in this case. So definitely check that out. So education is something that I personally think that is one of the most important thing, and I hold true dearly. Like I was in Sydney just last week, a couple of days ago. I came back to Brizzy. I spend half my time talking and having meetings with our partners and clients and a bunch of other even some part of regulators and stuff. But at the same time, I also spend time hanging out with some of users. So we came out for a short celebration when Bitcoin hit 60K US dollars. We had a small little party at Bondi the other night, and I was just chatting about their perspective on crypto, their perspective on life. And those kind of small meetups is something that I really want to do. The big meetups is definitely something that we are doing already. In Brisbane, especially, that's where we all host our big meetups. Over time, we have about one meetup every month, and we also have about an additional few meetups a month that we support or sponsor in one way or the other. So definitely upcoming, I would say there is one that we just announced yesterday. So we will have a 2021 kickoff meetup here in Brizzy. And it will be, the team will be there. We'll be doing some Q&A. We'll be showing you guys around, our favorite part of town, that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely hop on to that event. But if you're not in Brizzy, you can't attend on that time, that's totally fine. We will continue to have more of those events around the other city as well. So we have our team members spread across almost all major cities in Australia right now. It's just a matter of time before we get to you. So keep an eye out.
I am so excited for the meetup. It'll be great to sort of meet some of the faces that we deal with in our Telegram and on Twitter and stuff like this that are going to be joining us, and the whole team's going to be there, from ops, marketing, dev, Jeff, myself. It's going to be really great to network with everyone there. So cool. So with Juan, upcoming announcements and events, I know we just briefly just touched on that before, but what can we expect from Travala in the near future?
We can expect significant product improvements, more use cases for the AVA token, ramp up in terms of the team. We now have over 45 team members. We are about to release a hiring campaign, which I invite anyone to go to our careers page on the website at www.travala.com and go to the careers page, because we have a number of positions available there, from blockchain developers to social media managers, customer support, business development. So please help us, or send your CV if you're interested in any of those positions. But yeah, I think we're going to see a significant acceleration of growth overall in terms of the platform development, the adoption of the platform, and the use cases of the AVA token, as well as a lot of innovation that we're going to bring over the next few months to the industry as a whole, together with bringing more products. As I mentioned before, we have this goal, which is to bring 1 billion travelers, 1 billion users into the space, and to eventually get to that 10 million travel products across all the different verticals. We're now offering hotels, home accommodation, vacation rentals, flights, tours and activities, but there's a number of other verticals like cruises, car rentals, and so on that we will continue to add, as well as improve the availability of the existing ones. As we head into the next phases of development, there's a lot of decentralized functionality that will be added to the platform, from decentralized reviews, decentralized Salesforce, direct contracting of properties and travel suppliers. There's a number of things that, as we state in our white paper, will continue to make Travala.com and the AVA ecosystem more decentralized in the near future. But mainly interested in the short-term scaling of the platform, the team, to be able to cope with what we think is going to be an insane level of demand of travel that is going to hit us in the very near term.
No, so look, that leads me into some of the questions that we've got from the live Q&A. So what the angels have passed on to me. So just bear with while I go through some of them. But there was one here that I thought really touched on that. So in a price sort of way, which not financial advice, but I'll see what you're allowed to say and what you feel like you're comfortable saying. But with the travel industry closed, or however many percent, like 80, 70% closed, Do you see that there's going to be huge potential with AVA when things open back up and the travel market gets going again?
I think that the travel industry as a whole is going to see significant growth. I mean, we've seen this already with travel stocks, reaching record heights in the last few weeks. I think that, the industry's been hit so hard that the only way or the most likely way is up, in a way that those that do deliver and, continue to show growth should be able to provide significant value to the investors and so on. I don't like to comment on price. That's not something that we focus on at all. People are free to do whatever they want to do with the AVA token. It is available for anyone, anywhere, and the token obviously has been performing pretty well over time, but it's not something that as a team we'll look at all. We focus on the Travala.com platform and the ecosystem as a whole. Bringing new use cases and making sure that there is use and value in the utility of the token. But yes, I mean, to answer your question, I think that the travel industry as a whole is in for something that we haven't seen in our generation. I don't think we're going to see unless there's another significant event like the worst pandemic that the human race has ever seen. At least from our recent history, So yeah.
Well, let's hope not. Another person has said, is there any other token that has inspired you for AVA use case? Or is this sort of like
again, we don't really
the bottom up with AVA?
Yeah, we don't really look at what I mean. We do obviously appreciate and respect some of the use cases and the utility that some of the projects are doing out there, and we do keep an eye on what people are doing, particularly our partners and our close ecosystem. But yeah, I wouldn't say
they're all basically working together. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's a big project.
Yeah, different cryptocurrencies for different use cases.
Exactly. Another one here. How can a service provider, in my case, a charter boat operator, list their business on the AVA platform?
Very good question. This is exactly what we are intending to do, which is to build the platform for these travel suppliers to be able to, list themselves directly, eventually within the Travala.com platform. This is where the decentralized use cases that we have in our roadmap will allow different travel suppliers from homeowners to hotel owners to tour operators, boat owners, or operators of boat tours to basically be able to go and sign up directly in a decentralized platform based on a peer-to-peer relationship with the traveler directly without having to be controlled by a centralized party. So that is not something that we offer at the moment. If he is a boat operator, he obviously can sign up with some of the partners that we will integrate for tours and activities, which is one of the announcements that we have coming on very soon. And obviously we will be able to resell his travel products through the Travala.com platform, so people can book it with cryptocurrencies. Again, free to contact us through our live chat. It's a 24/7 chat on the website, or send us an email or drop us a line, and we'll get our team to get back to him and explain how he can get his offering on Travala.com.
Awesome. Well, I hope that answered the question there. I had another one. I might direct this one at Jeff. This one's from the Zoom, actually. Why would Australians want to trade with AUD? So say an Australian pair.
So it's simple. So like people have this notion of if you trade with AUD, you would get the best pricing, but like that's the best thing about plugging into a global exchange where you share the global liquidity. So the AUD pricing is just as best as you can get with the USDT pricing or other denominated other assets. That's very different if you're trading on like a isolated exchange that only trades AUD, and there's a market out there like Binance that has international liquidity. Obviously, that's going to be pricing inefficiencies because what would sort of balance out the price differences is when arbitrages come in and sort of take opportunities on both platforms to sort of make the price sort of a bit more equal. But on a platform that has direct sort of access to global liquidity, you have that almost instantly within a platform, so that ease of balancing up, I would say, like, the orders and trades is so much easier done on a single platform. So you would never have to worry about getting bad pricing on AED. And it's just honestly just one less trade you make, and just easier for, let's say, when you do your taxes and at the end of the financial year. And also it's just easier to visualize, because if you live in Australia, you get a wage in AED, you pay your rent, your car mortgage and stuff like that in Australian dollars, and you spend Australian dollars. So like keeping things in perspective of Australian dollars in terms of your profit and losses, that should just make it easier for you to sort of settle your taxes and accounting, but also for you to perceive your portfolio as well. That's personally, I think that's easier for me. Like, I still get excited when people go like, Bitcoin 60K US dollars is pretty cool. But ultimately, when I look at my portfolio, I tend to look at it in the AUD perspective, because that's where I am, and that's where I'm gonna be for a long time to come.
Relates better. Yeah, definitely relates better. I have another one here, Jeff, and this is not to cause any beef or start any problems, but in Australia, what are the benefits of using Binance Australia over other exchanges?
Heaps. Like, I can go forever. So like, Binance Australia has by far the lowest trading fees of all exchanges and brokers out there. That's definitely the case. So we do offer a range of products out there. So some are offered by Binance Australia, some are offered by Binance Global. We just separate, but you can all activate the same functions with the right sort of clicks and sort of like terms and conditions that you go through, and you can have everything in one account. So it's very different. Gone with the days you need to have 5 different exchange accounts because you want to access 5 different products that they are not mutually in one place. So with your Binance Australia account, you can access very easily, much easier and faster to services that you can do on the global exchange. So that's one of the biggest benefits. And also, you don't have to worry about switching platforms, because like I started off on a platform that is known to be quite hard to use in Australia, but that was before we started Binance Australia. And there are people that started off with the so-called easy exchange and migrate to the harder exchange, where they would pay more for the convenience and save on the fees later on when they get more proficient in trading. But I think that's a wrong mindset these days. That like with Binance Australia, you have one of the easiest ways to get started. We have the Lite app. It's unimaginably sort of easy for you to buy crypto on Binance Australia with AUD. And you can also choose to use the professional app to trade with all the charting tools that you can imagine you ever need. So, and also, if you want to refer a friend to an exchange, it's better if you refer the friend to an exchange where they are likely to stay longer and trade longer. And the lifespan of the user, even if it's a friend or it's your listeners, if you're a content creator, you want to sort of extend that lifetime value of your user, rather than just hopping on a small exchange and try it out a few months, and then when they get comfortable, they move on to another exchange, and you lose all the referral incentive from there on. So it makes a lot of sense to just an all-in-one stuff that goes from easy to beginner. I think at the end of the day, right, despite what people have the conception of what Binance was 2 years ago, Binance today, it's as easy as you want it to be, and it can be as advanced as you want it to be, and you can all do it in one account, and you don't have to leave platforms and sort of worry about more accounts and more security gaps to take care of. And that's just generally just easier. Just it's easier, faster, cheaper. I think just give it a go.
Yeah, look, my grandpa's like over 80, right? And he's sitting in his study daily checking out finance and buying. So and trading, it's quite easy to use. It's a bit of a misconception that it's the more experienced traders with all the different features that we offer. I think I can sort of squeeze one more in here before we got to wrap it up, because we're past our time now. But one, Do you just let me have a look at this one. Sorry. How will the world learn about Travala? What kind of marketing is yourself and the team excited about?
Good question. So I think we have something in the crypto space that is quite unique, which is the network effects of, in this case, for example, the AVA cryptocurrency. And, we have a community that is very passionate, that's been supporting us since the beginning, and that continues to grow and continues to add value to the Travala.com and AVA ecosystem. In terms of marketing, we have been focusing a lot in the blockchain and cryptocurrency space. Obviously, we work with players like Brave Browser, and we do run campaigns on more traditional, let's say, media or online digital marketing advertising channels like Google AdWords and so on. However, we do intend to ramp that up within, and especially outside of the cryptocurrency space, to try to drive more and more mainstream users to the Travala.com platform. The benefits that we offer as a platform are enough for us to justify the growth in terms of attracting new users to the Travala.com platform. We recently closed a $2 million equity round, which was partly done through a crowdfunding campaign in the UK. So we're going to use some of those funds to accelerate growth on the back of the post-pandemic era, and try to invest more in user acquisition campaigns. But our organic growth has been the main driver since day one, and the backing from our existing user base and community, and we will continue to focus on that. We do have a number of programs in the platform, from our referral program to our affiliate program, that create a lot of organic growth. A user can come and sign up on Travala.com and then quickly refer friends and get rewarded for doing so through our referral program. Anyone that has a blog or a website can monetize the traffic by signing up to our affiliate program, through which we can pay people up to 5% of the overall booking value in Bitcoin or AVA or whatever main cryptocurrency they choose to get paid on. So it is these more organic or growth hacking techniques that we've been using since the beginning. Travala is not a company like many others, or the vast majority in the travel industry, where they have to spend tons and tons of money in basically buying users. We always went with this idea of organic growth and growth hacking techniques. Is worked very well for us. But obviously, as we continue to grow and with our plans to scale, we will continue to grow the direct marketing investment on different channels for user acquisition within the digital marketing space.
Brilliant. No, the future looks bright. Unfortunately, got to wrap it up now. I could listen to you guys talk all day, to be honest. So for everyone watching, head over to Travala.com, check out what they've got to offer. Have a look around there. Don't forget that we've got AVA listed in our cash balance instant buy feature that we offer. So pick up some of them when you get the chance. Not financial advice. Is there anything that you guys would like to mention or say that we may have missed out on before we finish up right now? Or
yeah, I don't mind just having one final remark, and that is to tell the listeners that next time you're thinking about booking travel, a hotel, a flight, whatever it is, please do check out Travala.com. You can pay with your credit card if you're still getting used to crypto, but check it out. You're going to get a better price, and you're also going to help us in our mission to bring crypto mainstream as well. So yeah, I'll invite anyone to check the Travala.com platform next time they do want to travel. If they're not traveling yet, they can always participate within the Travala platform anyway and benefit from it, as I said, from our referral program, affiliate program, or even buying a travel gift card from whenever they want to travel again, or to give to their family members. So please, let's all together contribute in terms of making crypto adoption a reality.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
So like if any listeners here have questions about like how does Australia how does Australian tax office treat sort of bookings in crypto on travel sites like Travala, definitely check out our crypto taxes in Australia guide. You can find it in our Binance Australia blog, or you can head to binance.com/au/blog, and there will be a article there you can find. I think it was published somewhere last month, and it's a full guide about cryptocurrency taxes, and it also includes expenditures in crypto. That basically means that if you pay your let's say your airfare or your hotel in cryptocurrencies, and how does the tax treatment work. Definitely check that out if you have any questions.
Yeah, just to bounce off of that tax and Australia, we do have another AMA coming up soon around Australian taxes and crypto. So keep an eye out for that one. And also don't forget about our meetup towards the end of the month. Check out our Twitter, join our Telegram. We're active in there. Yeah, get involved. Look, so thanks for everyone tonight joining us. Thank you, Juan, and thank you, Jeff, for joining us as well. It's been great listening. We've reached the end of the AMA for today. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining us.
Thanks, guys, and thanks a lot for having me here too. Hopefully I'll be back soon.
Pleasure meeting you.
Cheers.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Cheers.